The session is about the bottle of lies. These are the lies from which we are not aware, and these are the lies which remain in the deeper in the shadow, which remain behind the scenes, and these lies are concealed behind the layers of insurance companies and middlemen, and these are the lies never told on the mainstream media, on the social media, and we remain on the belief that these are the pharmaceutical drugs which are very safe, which have very high quality, and which are very efficient and which are very effective. But despite of our beliefs, what they do in the shadow, what remain concealed, are the things that are today become a very fraud to the patient of cardiac, to the patients of cholesterol, to the patient of diabetes, and to the patient of most of the chronic illnesses, that who believe that these bottles which are filled with the pharmaceutical drugs that are very safe, that are very efficient, that are very effective. So here most of the pharmaceutical drug supply come to the most powerful country US, that come from most of the Indians and Chinese manufacturer, and they give it the name of generic drugs. Generic drugs are actually the not identical to the brand name drug, and but having the same molecules, and FDA consider it equivalent on the basis of bioequivalency to reach the drug reach to the same peak concentration in the blood. They consider it equivalent to the brand name of pharmaceutical drug. But here it is opposite to the truth, very far from the truth. The reason is that they even manufacturing the cardiac pharmaceutical drugs on the same equipment which they use for the making the metallic particles. FDA announced their visit 2 months in advance, so they have a huge time to never expose the real data, keep the record which is according to their standard, and again they facilitate the inspectors from the airport in the luxury cars to the rooms of the hotel, which are magically upgraded, and they make their visits, their trips to the Taj Mahal and the other places are the tourism which we call the regulatory tourism. So giving such a large time, such a huge time, and the facilitation the manufacturer give to the FDA inspectors make very easy what the manufacturer want to give them and what they accept. Make a connection between the FDA and the manufacturer, and that is the reason they relax their findings. They relax from the high findings to the relaxed finding, and that is the reason they have a combination, a merger, and that merger only harm the consumer. and we are not aware of it. And they have the dual track for the markets having high regulation and for the markets with low regulation. The high regulated markets are European Union and US, but they make different standards for both. And for the lower standard markets, they lower their steps, minimize their steps, and minimize the quality ingredient. The most used generic drug, that is Lipitor, and that is a drug reduce the cholesterol level. The most sellable drug in the US, they restrict their supply, and they bake their Lipitor to their manufacturer due to the glass fragment they infuse in it, and due to that infusion they bake the whole supply. But during this criminal investigation, in the mid of this criminal investigation, they give the green light to the biggest manufacturer of Lipitor, Ranbaxy, so that Ranbaxy supply these vaccines which are not according to the standard, and they make 600 millions of dollars in profit in within a few months. They recover their loss within a few months. And all these are deeper in the shadow, and all these are far away from the truth. But we are not doing our critical thinking. We are only believing that they are very close to the standard. They follow the gold standard for manufacturing. But here they not only reduce their standard of finding to a relaxed level, but also facilitate and give them the time that they present the data which is according to the standard. And the thing, they follow the dual track for the high regulated market and for the low mal regulated market. I think almost 200 products for these 40 countries with the dual track system, but we are not aware of it. And we believe that they meet the gold standard for the pharmaceuticals, and that is the reason we always blame the pharmaceuticals, that they are not effective, they are not efficient. The reason behind it is the bottle of lies, those lies which they spread through the mainstream media, through the social media, that these drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, are safe, are efficient. That is only the lies which they adopt in the manufacturing. The manufacturing mostly come from Indians and from Chinese manufacturer, and